Hello friends. Now let us take up the training session 4. So far we have performed two true object oriented programs, true loop programs. Before proceeding further, we have to understand very core concept, very important concept. According to me, 90% of object oriented programming students do not have complete idea over this, and many others also they do not clearly mention what is this. That is the difference between object and object reference. In order to understand this concept, you should know some behind scenes. Then only logically you can understand that, and you will be in a position to explain to others. That is very important. That only every time I call it as owning the concept. Now you see, this is object versus object reference. Now, in instantiation process, we are writing one statement with reference to cash bill. Already we have written, I write that. Cash bill, this is the class name, this is the object reference, then new, then cash bill. Here, I assume that there are three items in that. The three items I am passing like this: pence, numbers 10, rate 9.9 rupees 50 paise, F. This I am not going to explain. Already explained to you. Now in this, what is object? What is object reference? You must understand. Actually, many interviews they ask, but according to me, 95% students fail to understand this or answer this. Okay. Now you see, forget about this. First talk about this. Now this is the object. This is the constructor call. This creates an object. Now you see, assume this. This is the true object. Here, pens are there. Here, size and all that you forget. That is not very important here. Okay. This is the real object. This is created on heap memory. Heap memory. This is also known as free store. Because for any component, multiple names are there. You must learn all those things, all those names. Otherwise, you are confused. But suppose you may know about heap, you heard it, and you may not know free store. Then, even though if you know answer, you cannot give it. So that is the thing. This is known as heap or free store. Actually, all objects are runtime entities. Runtime entities means at the time of execution, those are the memory is allocated and those are created. Those are called runtime entities. Now you get it out. Actually, in C and all, many times from the beginning you know that. Now this is there. One memory location is size aspect. Don't bother. One memory location is created and simple. This is very simple. Actually, this is created at compile time. At compile time. So this is created on stack memory. Stack memory is very simple. Suppose you constructed a house and put it as sweet home. Hereafter that home is called sweet home. So the name age is attached to this memory location, and hereafter it is called as age, and simply you can retrieve it. There is no question of doubt in that. Okay, this already I explained to you. This is called variable, ordinary variable. But as far as runtime entities are concerned, actually at the time of execution, the memory is allocated, and if we give values, those are that is initialized like this. Now, what is this type? Now here, its type is int I have written. Its name is age I have written. Very clear. As far as this is concerned, cash bill is its type. It's a class, it's a type, and it has no name. Actually, here one limitation is there for heap memory. On heap memory, you cannot give any name directly. Suppose you can get whatever amount of memory is required, that you can get allocated. No problem. If you want 10,000 bytes of memory, you can get it allocated. That is not an issue. But only thing is, here you cannot give name. Simply you can call it as an object. This is cache build type object. That's it. Okay, if it is there with you, and if you cannot without name, how can you call? Suppose you have a lot of money in your iron safe. If you don't have key, what is the use? Here, memory is there. Your data is stored on the heap. But if you are not able to retrieve it, what you do? There is no use. But this is just name is attached to that. We do that. That's why, in order to, because here heap memory does not allow to give names to the objects. That's why one arrangement should be made. Actually, one object reference variable should be created. That is that for that it is created on stack. That's why what you can give names. Now CV1, this is a type is cache bill. This is created on stack. This is called object reference variable. Always you remember that. This is created on stack. This is created on heap. Here you cannot give name. That's why we can make an arrangement. What is that? This is that. This is, if you have to remember, a wonderful example I give you. You cannot find this type of example anywhere. Suppose you purchased a kite to play with that. Okay, kite is there with you. Then what you do with that? How can you play with that? You cannot play. It goes into the sky. Then what you want? You want a thread. Without thread, you cannot use that. Without this, you cannot use this. This is like an object. This is object reference. We have to link up like this. So this actually you need not bother about it. If you want to retrieve that, what to do? What is the CV1 dot, its name is item. Just you call like that. One syntax, if you learn, that is enough. But what I mean to say, you should not be like a blind person. You should know every concept behind the scenes. You have to understand. Then only you can own the concept, and you can comfortably, with self-confidence, you can explain to others. Otherwise, somebody asks you, this data is stored here in C like this. What is this nonsense and all that? You may ask. Then you may not have any question. You may not have any answer. That's why I am explaining. If you want to become a leader, a good faculty, a trainer, you must know the behind scenes, what is going on. This is like a kite. This is like a book. Book, just handle it, and that only name is there. So this is why it is like that. Runtime. All objects are runtime entities. That means at the time of running the program, execution of the program, this will happen. This will happen. First object is created, and object reference is attached to that, like a string thread of the kite, and this picture will happen using this. Now only thing is, until it is tied, those are two items. One is kite, second one is thread. Once you tie up the thread with the kite, can you treat them as two? You never treat kite. Kite means including thread. Like this, concept wise you have to learn. But once it is created, then you treat it as one only. Only thing is, because of overcoming one limitation, we are doing it. On heap, we cannot give names. That's why this arrangement is made. This you must understand. Otherwise, you ask anybody, including your faculties. I think 95% of faculties also don't explain this. Cannot explain that, because they didn't. I never find fault with them, because it is not mentioned anywhere. Very few books have explained about this. After understanding this process, you must know about new. New is one of the Java's operator. You must remember it, like plus minus multiplication and all that. It is an operator, but it is not a symbol. It is in a word. So you recognize it in operator. Now second one is it performs three jobs. The first job is it gets the sufficient enough memory allocated on heap. Suppose here three things are there. How much memory, all that you forget. Suppose let us say 20 bytes memory is required. the 20 bytes memory it gets allocated on heap. Okay. Second one, that is first job is allocation of memory. Allocation on heap. That point you have to understand, not on stack. Second one is it calls constructor. Already I told you constructor is nothing but standardized Java method for initialization process. It calls constructor. As a result of that, what happened? Whatever values are there, those values are initialized. Those values are initialized. Because of that, true object is created. This is the object. Okay. Thereafter, we have this side what we have written. We have defined the thread with reference to our analogy. It is like a thread. Now this thread. Now actually this is different. This is like kite. This is like a thread. Now this is ready. Then what happens? It allocates to assigns to the CB1. It reference, now object reference, it assigns to CB1. As a result of that, this is created. Third one is assignment of reference of object. Then as a result of that, this is created. That means we are able to tie the thread to the paper part of the kite. Then kite is ready. Like object is ready. This is called object reference or object reference variable. This is created on stack. That's why we are able to give name. This is created on heap. That's why everything object is created, but memory is allocated, and we cannot give a name. So because of this arrangement, we are able to call that. We can able to use it. Simply, you need not remember all that. Just simply suppose if you want pens. If you want pens means which code you write? CV1 item name. You write. That's it. Thereafter, suppose CV1 numbers 10 can be retrieved. CV1 rate 9.5 can be retrieved. These facts you must understand. Whenever you are asked this question, whenever you want to explain it to somebody, or if I say question in the interview and all that, using examples you explain, they will be, I assure you, they will be educated because of you. Because your interview board are just seniors to you. Those are from your school of thought only. They might not learn this one. So if you teach this one, definitely they accept it. They are enlightened. Many of my students reported that in the interview hall, they enlightened the interview board member. Somebody explicitly expressed their view, opinion also. First time they learned. So you should be in that category. You must be in a position to choose your employer, not like other college goers or job seekers. With perfect industry readiness, you go for an interview. That is my advice.